the pride and joy of Ocala, Florida, UCF legend, Viking legend, you name it. The first different quarterback of his size and stature. I don't think people know before Cam Newton was this man, and can't think of him enough. Daunte Culpepper joins the show. What up, brother?
Welcome in.
You hear me? Shit.
He's on mute. He's on. I'll mute him real quick. Here we go.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah.
How you doing?
What up, brother?
Good,
How you doing?
Good.
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
Hope I introduced you right, man. We had Coach Vermeil on, and my point was, I was like, let me bring the young brother in, man, because Smitty thought all white cracked. I said, nah, Dick Vermeil, 88. He looked good. See? he looked like he was fucking 60.
Yeah, he looked good, man.
A broken clock, strikes, is right twice in a day.
Thanks
for coming on, man. Can't thank you enough.
All good.
No doubt. What you got in the fire right now? What do you got going on? I know your boys playing, youngster coming up, the next big thing, hopefully, quarterback, linebacker. What else you got going in the fire? A lot of stuff. I know you got golfing a lot.
Yeah, man. Just trying to get a little better on the golf course when I can. And my wife and I, we had 6 kids, 3 girls, 3 boys. My youngest is in the house still. He's 14. His name is Dash. And so I got 2 older boys. One's 20, one's 23, and they're in the transfer portal trying to, find a home to play basketball. They play college basketball. They're really good players. And, just doing that, man, being a dad, man, that's about it.
No doubt. Love it. You enjoy the time out? Like, would you, I don't know, if they wanted you to coach full time or any of that, is it all family right now until everything gets situated before you do anything, or somebody wanted you to coach at UCF or anything like that comes down the pipe? Has that got a hold for a while?
Yeah, I've had a few opportunities to get into coaching. I always felt that it's, to be a coach, you gotta sacrifice a few things that to me are important. I like to be in their my kids' daily situations, daily lives. So to be a coach, a lot of times you have to give that up. And I just decided, to be a daily situational dad, for my kids. So I'm thankful and happy to be in a situation to be able to do that. I think that's important. But who knows what the future holds? You never know.
No doubt.
I won't say it won't happen, but at this point, no.
Do you miss the game a little bit?
I miss a lot of the relationships. I miss the locker room. I miss that stuff. That's all the camaraderie and going out, building something to try to get a win that week. That's special to me. I don't miss waking up feeling like I've been in a car accident the day before. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I like to ask the meat and potatoes, and since I don't know shit about football, Smitty can ask all the football. Hey, Daunte, I want to show a video to you though, and then we're just ad-libbing the show today because we got so many damn guests. And I can't thank you enough. Cam Newton, who's been on the show, obviously, who I recruited out of JUCO years ago, so he came on the show. And we were bullshitting talking about that part, but he's going crazy right now because he's doing clips and he don't care who he goes at, similar to me, but. He's out there, and I want to see this. I want to show you this video and tell me what you think about what he had to say real quick. Bailey will pop it in.
Attack the messenger, Ryan Clark. Okay, let's pull up your stats. Second team All-SEC, we cannot relate. Undrafted in 2002, we cannot relate. Then you have 1 Pro Bowl in 2011, we cannot relate. So if you want to unlock Petty Cam, and everything that Cam Newton has ever said on this 4th and 1 show has always been backed by merit and logic, but some way, shape, form, people keep attacking Cam, the person, or why he didn't jump on the fumble, why he didn't do this, or comparing and contrasting. So when I compare and contrast you guys' statistics and Dan Orlovsky, never mind. But as we keep going and we keep unlocking and keep poking the bear, and y'all want to play this game, I can.
Hold on, JB. I did not see this. It's my first time seeing this clip.
I texted him last night. And he's laughing. He's like, JB, I had to do a Coach JB on him.
Hey, why he cooked them like that? He said we cannot relate. I can't relate with these dudes.
I'm just telling you, Daunte. What are you?
What's your reaction, Daunte?
What are you at with Cam going ham on these cats? I love it that he went at Brian, but where are you at with everybody that goes at? He's basically been kind of like, listen, he was just on ESPN last year too with these cats. So it's funny that he's going ham, but he's going ham on all this stuff. And he's kind of like the guy going against the grain, kind of the mainstream media now, similar to our show. Where you at with Cam going off on everybody about, they're attacking him because he said Jalen Hurts isn't a top 10 guy in his mind. We all have our opinions. And I'm like, damn, I didn't know you can't have an opinion no more, man. So we had Jeff Garcia on yesterday, or Warren Moon yesterday, and Jeff Garcia the day before. And Jeff was like kind of similar to Cam, like, he's floating with it. You did this thing, man, at the highest level. I got to ask you, like, is the team being so loaded disvalue the QB? He won a Super Bowl. I mean, I don't know. That's what that argument was about for context, though. Jalen Hurts.
I'm always gonna. I'm a little lenient. Obviously, I played the position. I know what it looks like to be out there with bullets flying. It's that is the reason why the quarterback is the most important part of the team. And I understand what Cam's saying as far as his own attributes, and him going at people, man, I think that's great for the business of the social media.
Social media.
That's great. But when it comes down to Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, I've got a chance to watch him in college. I think he was phenomenal. I think he does what he's asked to do, and he does it very well.
Yeah.
Whether he's a top 10 quarterback, I don't know if they mean right now or all time. I don't know.
Right now they mean right now. Currently, yeah.
My opinion. I mean, he wins. He's winning like a top 10 quarterback. That's all that matters. As long as you're winning like a top 10 quarterback, and when you're afforded the opportunity to make a play, you make that play. That's how I always looked at the game. You play the game to win. Statistics, the real statistic is winning. Obviously, that's the main one. But he's doing it. He's done it in college. He showed it. He showed it in the NFL. So I don't get caught up in the whole, is he top 10? In my opinion, he's a baller. And he does everything that it takes to be an elite quarterback, in my opinion. He's asked to do it. He's and the coaches, I give the coaches credit because they put him in position to do his job very well. And they got their guys around him. And any quarterback, you put in a situation where you got the tools around you, it makes it a lot easier and better for that quarterback. So, my opinion, I would put Hurts in the upper echelon of the quarterbacks right now. I don't know if you top 10, whatever, but when you mention the top players at quarterback, you got to put Jalen Hurts' name in there.
Yeah, and I think he works his ass off. And I think he tries to get better at his craft every year, which I've been saying on the show. I said that's one thing I give him credit for. Like, is he the most accurate? Is he the guy is he the reason AJ Brown on the sideline reading a book because Saquon's going crazy, or and their defense is good and all that shit? I don't know. I don't care. He is a guy that I've said on the show. Mechanically, you can see he's gotten better year in and year out, which a lot of guys you don't see. You know what I mean? You don't see that. But
absolutely.
Nah, that's for sure. One thing that you brought up though, during your rant right there about Jalen is winning. So we've tried this conversation with multiple guys, but we might as well ask you too. When it comes to ranking like all-time quarterbacks, right, or even like current players, stuff like that, like, is winning the most important thing when it comes to ranking quarterbacks? Like, is that the number one thing, or like you got guys obviously like a Dan Marino, for example, who just never could get it done for whatever reason, team, situation, et cetera, but we know how great, like our eyes work. We know how great Dan Marino was, but you got other guys who did do it. So it's like, if you win at the high level, does that automatically just put you above some of these other cats who got MVPs and stats and numbers and all that?
I mean, winning in the business, you got the more you win, the more money you're gonna make, obviously. And you want to win, but you always want to be able to put your team in a position to win, and that's what gives you the value as a quarterback, in my opinion. I think Joe Montana is the best to ever do it. Just watching our playing the game in the NFL, he's the best that I've seen ever do it. Charlie Ward's the best I've ever seen do it in college, in my eyes, in my opinion. But winning is the number one goal. If you can't, you work hard, you do everything, you work on your skills, because football is the ultimate team game. Quarterback is the most important position in that team game. So if you got the ability to put your team in a position to win, your value goes up, and you're perceived as a great. But anybody who looks between the numbers and looks at the game and studies the game, a guy like Dan Marino, he has a skill level of any of the great quarterbacks. You can put his numbers up or his skill level up against any quarterback in the game. So, it's a couple different things you got to look at, but winning is the number one thing you want to do.
No doubt. We've had Dan Fouts, Jeff Garcia, yourself, Warren Moon, all in a row, and they all had the same answer. Like Dan Fouts was like, you have to take me off your top 5 consideration because I didn't get it done with that ring. And he said it. I was like, damn, because people argue like, Marino didn't win it and him and other guys that have all these godly stats. And he said it on our show. We got breaking news, Bailey, real quick. We might as well do it with Daunte.
Daunte, can't thank you enough for joining. We have some unfortunate news, breaking news in the NFL here out of Jets training camp here. Justin Fields was carted off to the locker room after suffering a lower leg injury from what I'm reading here. Not too clear on the severity of this, but this is unfortunate news coming out of Jets training camp here.
Jeez, thanks, Bailey. Man, that's crazy. I hope it's nothing serious.
I know they don't hit. They don't hit anymore. We just talked about that with Coach Vermeil. What do you? I mean, I know they're running some triple probably Daunte with them. I'm sure they're doing some things in practice. It seems like a non-contact is what I would think it would be. I don't think you were touching that dude if you're a Jet, practice guy. I don't think anyone's touching him in contact. So we can only assume right now. God dang. Hopefully he's all right because I'm a fan. I love the kid. I recruited him as well. I don't know. Initial thoughts, Daunte. Hopefully he's all right. But
I hate to hear that anybody's injured. I love Justin Fields as well, man. I'm a quarterback guy. I'm always going to be on the quarterback side in most of these discussions.
Yeah.
But I tell you, I watched this kid in college as well, and he did it as good as anybody. And then when he got to Chicago, just my opinion, I don't think he didn't have the supporting cast around him, and I don't think they tailored the offense to his strengths like they did with my man Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm saying? And that's just my opinion. If I was this coach, I would move the pocket a little more. I would put more pressure on the defense with it. I know he ran the ball a ton, but I would give him the ability to read the field. I looked at their offense and looked, they only give him the ability to read one side. I would let him go in a sense more. I would just give him the responsibility and let him make plays, but I would also put the lineman in front of him, put the backs behind him to make sure that you can protect him. I think he got hit way too much, in my opinion. And any quarterback that gets hit a lot, you're going to see their production go down. And most of the guys, not 6'4", 260 like me, like I was. I could take a lot of those hits. But a lot of guys, Justin's not a guy of that stature. You got to protect him. You got to protect the quarterback better. And that's in those situations that he had in Chicago, I don't think they protect him.
I said the same thing. I think we were saying the same. I said the Chicago should have kept him, go drafted. They could have got Joe Alt the next year in that draft that the Chargers got last year, but got a better old lineman. They still got the same wideouts, still got Udunze, still could have got Moore, all these other guys. I think they could have been, and they could have got 2 picks, obviously, instead of going to get Caleb first. They could have kept Justin. That was my whole take. But everyone's, you a hater, woo, how I go. So but that's how I'm at. I would much rather have Justin. But now, look what happened. Aaron Rodgers blows his Achilles in New York, and it looks like some people are making preliminary reports here.
In New York, he's talking about years ago. He's talking about okay. No, I saw your face. I'm like, no, he's a Pittsburgh now.
I'm just saying, like, we've seen Aaron get hurt in New York with an Achilles 2 years ago, and now what preliminary reports are that Justin may have an Achilles. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts, man. I wish the best for him, man. I've always been a fan of his, man. He's a baller for real.
No doubt. Let me get to brass tacks with you real quick. I got to ask you, the Viking squad, you to Moss, may have never been a prettier deep ball connection between a quarterback and a receiver. Was that wideout crew that you had? And we've asked this to the last few guys. Would you put it up there with everybody? Because we got Clayton on here and Mark Duper. Mark Clayton's going to come on during the regular season. We asked him, those two, and Marino. Then we asked Charlie Joyner, Hall of Fame wide receiver with Kellen Winslow, and then we asked that to Dan Fouts. Did they have the best combo? And then we asked Warren Moon yesterday about the Houston Oilers, and he said, "Shit, I had 4." And he was clowning. How good was your guys' skills? And I know you were there. Then Randall and that crazy team with Carter and all them, the loaded wideouts. Where do you put your guys' crew?
Oh my goodness, definitely in the upper echelon in the history of the league. You know, playing with Chris Carter, Randy, Jake Reed, and I'm gonna tell you a big thing that never gets talked about. Early in my career, I played with a guy by the name of Robert Smith, and he was absolutely phenomenal in pass protection. He was always in the right place, never really made mistakes, and it made it very comfortable for me in the pocket. And then, you know, when you're running the ball so efficiently, a lot of people know we led the league in rushing a lot. I was up there 7 years. We probably led the league in rushing 3 or 4 years. So, and nobody ever talked about that.
Wow.
You know, because they were a lot of attention was on the receivers, so they always had 2 safeties back. And when you got 2 safeties back, obviously you guys know football, your number count in the box is very advantageous for the running game. So we were gassing people in the running game, and when that safety would stick his nose down, we would light him up. But you know, we go deep. But I put him at the top. You know, Randy obviously is one of the best to ever do it. He's probably the best deep ball hand-eye coordination I've ever seen. A guy can adjust to a ball and make a play. Chris is probably the best just catching ability I've ever seen in my life. This dude could catch the ball as good as anybody. I mean, he did some crazy stuff. You know, I saw him one time, he ran a 15-yard out, and he was running. He broke on the out route. I let the ball go. He turned, looked at the defender, and while the ball's in the air, he grabbed it without even looking at the ball. I mean, Chris was sick. If 3rd and short in the slot, he was unguardable. One-on-one, guardable. And people always say, you know, who's your best receiver? I always put it in this situation. If it's 3rd and short, I want to go to Chris. I got full confidence in Chris. And if we're going deep, and obviously if it's one-on-one, Randy's open most of the time. That's how I looked at it.
You had Randy as a youngster, huh? You had Randy as a youngster, right?
Yeah, you know, Randy out of the same age. He came out a year before me in college.
Okay.
You know, he was at Marshall. I came out of UCF. So he came out of
UCF. What year would you guys, was it 98?
99.
99 was your first year, right? Yeah.
99 was my rookie year. 98 was Randy's rookie year.
So you missed that Thanksgiving game was a year before you got there, right?
Randy's rookie year, but then my 2000, my first Thanksgiving game, he had 3 touchdowns as well.
Oh, he did it twice. He did it a couple times.
Yeah.
He loved Thanksgiving, huh? Okay.
Oh, man, he lit the Cowboys up, man. And,
what I meant was that Randy was still a young wideout in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I was talking to the chat of nobodies that thinks they know everything. So it's funny. But anyway, Randy, to you, where do you rank him all time? Because you had 2, so it's kind of hard to say Randy's number 2, and then you pass Chris Carter that you had. It's also an argument. Do you have him above T.O.?
If I had to pick between Moss and T.O., I know Randy in way more. We played 7 years together. I'm gonna pick Randy because of familiarity. T.O.'s not far behind. T.O.'s is just as good, just as impactful. He's a great athlete as well, but I just think Randy I'm gonna take Randy a little bit more, just a little more because of the familiarity. I've been to Pro Bowls with T.O. I've seen what he can do. T.O. is phenomenal, and to be able to do it as long as T.O.'s a little older than me, 3 or 4 years, but he kept himself in great shape, and he made the plays when he was afforded the opportunity to make the plays. He's a tough, hard-nosed player, but just off ability-wise, I'm going to go with Randy because he was, T.O.'s a great basketball player, but as far as an athlete. Yeah. And, people realize I played with not only, Chris, Randy, I played with a dude by the name of Calvin Johnson. Yeah. And Calvin was a little different. I always compare the guys like in basketball. If we had compared in basketball, Moss was more of a guard, shooting guard, and Calvin was more of a power forward. And that's how I look at T.O. in that sense, like Julio Jones type, but Randy just is a little bit different than those, in my opinion. A little different. I'm going to take Randy.
Calvin was different, man. I was going to ask you that question because of college and everything he was that he did. Like
I've never been around a football player or a human in that sense that with the physical attributes. This dude, I see when we did the testing in off season, this dude had a 50-inch vert. I mean, he was ridiculous, man. I'm serious. And I always say if the military wanted to clone a soldier, Calvin Johnson would be the one they clone. Because that dude, man, this dude was he didn't say much, so he kind of got in my opinion, he didn't get a lot of, he got some attention, but he didn't get it. That dude was ridiculous.
He never really talked. Now when I look back, he just made plays, and
he don't
that's
say
it.
much. He don't say much. Calvin's a great guy, but he didn't say much, which is all. That didn't bother me. But he just physically and as an athlete, probably the most gifted player I've been around. Just strong and big. But Randy, I still would take Randy over him as well. Because just.
Really?
As an athlete, just all around, yeah, I'm gonna go with Randy.
Damn,
you play with some great receivers. Boy.
Oh yeah.
Great. I got one question, Daunte. I can't think enough. And Smitty, you can wrap it up with Daunte. I got to ask you. We're coming up on the 24th or 25th year of the passing of Corey Stringer, who you had as a teammate, Big K. How was that? How did that hit that team that year? As far as having to deal with that, I know. What was it? Heat stroke or I forgot. But how did that happen? I know Dennis Green was let go after that, and then you had Mike Tice, I believe, an O-line guy known for taking over that team. How hard was it on Mike as a new head coach dealing with that, and then how tragic was it? I mean, we know how tragic it was. How hard was it to have that tragedy around a team that that you mentioned is we miss the camaraderie of the locker room? Man,
it was devastating. It was devastating for it to happen. We didn't know. I remember the day. He came into camp. He always came into camp working his butt off. Corey was one of the best teammates I've ever played with. He was a veteran when I came in, and he was one of those guys that kind of put his arm around me. When a lot of, coach, this, that, during that time, there was a lot of hazing stuff going on. Corey was never one of those guys. I remember the day he took a knee. The training crew came and got him, put the cold. It was over 105. It was hot. It was one of the hottest days. They took him out to they had these portables out there, and then the next day, we got the news that he had went into a coma the next day. So it was devastating. We could never bounce back. We tried. He was the cornerstone of our offensive line. And not only that, he was one of the leaders on the team. And it devastated us. It definitely, it's hard. It's hard enough to go out there and win in the National Football League when you got everybody there and healthy. And when you take a blow like that, it was just, the season was pretty much done. We tried, but we didn't recover. It took us 2 years to really recover from that as a team. Offensively, to lose a player like that and a personality of his. You can't put a value on it. It was invaluable.
Yeah, no doubt.
Definitely tough, man, for sure. My last thing here, just want to, as I look back, as you look back, over your career, multiple time Pro Bowler, multiple time All Pro. I mean, incredible seasons, all types of records, obviously at the collegiate level and in the NFL. When you look back and just reflect over your NFL career, did you ever imagine, did you ever think that you would have the type of success that you end up having, when you look back as a kid, just, being a dreamer of wanting to play and then having it, be as successful? Could you ever imagine you would be, as great as you were?
Well, that's a good question. I was a kid, as a young kid, I never felt that I arrived. I felt I always had something to prove. Every year I wanted to get better. And if you go through from high school, from my first year, every year my numbers got better. I got stronger, even through college and even in the NFL. I was getting better. I had to battle a few injuries earlier in my second year. I had my first surgery was in my second year starting. But I always felt like I had something to prove, as a player, and I wanted to compete, and I'm thankful to be able to have played in the NFL, and that was a dream to be a pro, whether it was in basketball, football, or baseball. I played all of them, but I'm happy. I can look myself in the mirror. I know I put everything I had into it, and I look back on it, man, and now when any kid I come around that has aspirations to be an athlete, or not just an athlete, any kids in the community as well, I tell them, man, be a pro. I always wanted to be a pro. I had guys, older guys around me, always said, be a pro. Be a pro. That means being the best you can be on point. And even if you don't make it to the professional level in athletics, be a pro in whatever you do. You can be a pro in anything you choose. And that's the message I give the kids. And I'm thankful that I've been able to see what I've seen, be in a position to take care of my family and just thrive each year, because I always tell the kid, compete at the highest level, always feel like you got something to prove. Always feel like that, even if you are all pro. That's the thing about one thing about Randy and Chris, those guys were at the top of their game, and they could have just said, you know what, I done did all I did, I could relax. Nah, those dudes bust their butt every day. And that kind of stuff is contagious. And that's what makes you great, when you can be good and be consistent and do it over and over. That's what I appreciate about guys like that.
And Daunte, that's
I love that.
I've been saying, like, we've been having this argument, like, dude, the guys are more gifted than ever. The freaks of nature, athletically playing the position. But there's a difference between, like, athletic quarterbacks and then quarterbacks being athletic. Like, we got a lot of athletes playing quarterback because we're not coaching them up in college and high school. And that's in my opinion. And they get to the NFL, and we're seeing this freak AR5 and all these guys just get ruined in the NFL because we screwed them up. Like, that's how I look at it. I'm like, dog, these cats are give me an AR fucking 5 in college. Let me get this cat. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just ridiculous.
Coach them up. You gotta coach them up.
Yeah, man. Are you seeing it too? Are you seeing, like, there's a product problem at the NFL because of what's happening below?
Well, it used to be, and I was one of the last guys that came into the old system that, you developed. It was about development. It's not about just throwing a kid out there in the fire. No, it takes sometimes, some people are quicker, some people it takes a little more. I was able to sit and watch Cunningham and Jeff George my rookie year. I didn't have to play. That helped me out a lot. It's things I tell JJ McCarthy. I use practice as a game. That's how I prepare. I went against the first team defense. Johnny Randall, me and this dude went at it every day in practice, every day. But that prepared me for the speed of the game in the NFL, and I tell hey, put in the work. But these coaches, you got to develop a kid. You can't just say, oh, you can't tell them this. It's a daily grind to get the best out of your players. And sometimes, like you said, JB, I don't know if the coaching, I'm not in those rooms, but it just looks like they don't develop anymore. It's all about, if we draft you high, you got to come in and play now because we're paying you this money. But so you got to be smart about how you deal with your quarterbacks and their development and when they're ready.
Yeah, that's 100% true. And I got two more things for you. It just came to my mind. You just brought this name up, JJ McCarthy. Any insight on what we should be expecting from him this season? Because he got hurt last year, but did a little bit in the preseason, showed some good things. At Michigan, we know, won the Natty, but that system was really run heavy. So we didn't really get a chance to see him just, do his thing. But we're hearing from people just who know him or in his camp saying, man, this guy is legit, great athlete. Any insight that you have on what we should expect from him?
I was up there. I was fortunate enough to be up in Minnesota last month, a couple of weeks, and I got to go to a few practices, and I was watching him closely. Yeah. First of all, I watched him in college. It didn't jump off the screen at me because of their offense. I don't think they did a great job as an offense. They were run heavy and it was great, and they did some play action stuff. So we didn't get to see his skills. I watched him 3 days in a row last month, and I'll tell you this: he's very, very accurate. He's way more accurate than I knew and I had noticed. And then he's a better athlete than he gets credit. He's a way better athlete than he gets credit. They're going to do a great, and I expect great things with the players around him and the team they got. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. I think they're going to surprise. If they got to stay healthy, I told her, I said, y'all got to keep him healthy. Y'all can't get him hit a lot. Don't get him hit a lot. But he's put in the work. I seen it in his eyes. He got that look in his eyes that he's ready to step out there and be the player that he wants to be, and that the team wants him. And he's put the work in. Every day he come up and he ask me questions. He's really like a sponge. He's a smart kid, very respectful. And I think if I was saying I don't predict, because you never know what happens. But if they stay healthy as a team, they're gonna make a run in the playoffs. I'll tell you that now. And that division is tough. That's a tough division. But watching them, it got me excited to see what I saw. He makes every throw. He's very accurate, and he stepped out there. He leads by example. He's doing what it takes to be a good quarterback. And I was impressed with him. I was very impressed with him.
They got him online right now. We can't show the clip, but he's dropping some some back cone touchdowns right now. He's showing his accuracy. And your boy, who comes on our show twice a week during the season, Shaun King, he said all this about he's like JJ's that guy. He been force feeding us JJ for a year and a half, and I'm like, dog, he ain't played a fucking down yet. But anyway,
JB wanted to keep Sam Darnold over there.
Yeah,
he played it down. Like I say, they got to protect him. But if they protect this kid, I see great things, man. I'm telling you. I say it with me first. If they protect him, I see great things.
This quarterback draft, we might look back like in 10 years and be like, hey, man, this was a hell of a draft. When you think about, obviously Jaden Daniels, what he's doing, I still think Caleb is going to be a solid quarterback in Chicago. I don't know if he's going to be as great as they had him projected, but I think he'll be a solid NFL quarterback. If JJ, who is who we think he is, we got who's I got in the Denver, Bo Nix, had a good rookie year. Like, we might look back and be like, damn, this class is actually pretty good.
Drake May,
Drake May, like
some ballers, man. It's some ballers.
JB don't like nothing
with today's game. They've changed the game. It's an offensive game now. They changed the game, so long as you keep them upright, most of these guys can complete passes and do what it takes to.
Imagine if you played today, Daunte. I mean, you were already phenomenal in the area you play. Imagine if you had Chris Carter, Randy, the exact same team, but just drop y'all here today.
With the rule change, I mean,
you couldn't even get touched.
Hey, 50 touchdown seasons would be very, very attainable in my opinion.
You threw for 4,700 yards and 39 touchdowns was at 04, and that was when you was getting hit, and it was different.
There was no such thing as defensive receivers or defensive player. I mean, it was a defensive game. That's what it was.
Yeah, run the ball heavy. Yeah,
defense was all the rules were catered towards defenses. Back then it was if you threw for 3,000 yards in the NFL back then, that was above average. Now if you throw for 3,000 yards, that's well below average in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So. It is good. I get it. It's for safety, safety reasons. But it's just a different game. But I'm still a fan of it, and I'm excited about it.
Is it fair to say? Go ahead. I'm sorry, JB.
Go ahead, man.
Is it fair to say? It might sound crazy, but like if we look at your stats again, you threw for 4,700 yards, 39 touchdowns in 04. You at your peak today, you think you could have hit maybe like close to 6,000 passing yards?
Ooh, I mean,
I know that sounds crazy, but I'm just saying I don't know.
I mean, it's like pass Kelly a lot of times. When you got the 7-on-7 a lot of times, kind of with pass. The way the game is. So I won't say we couldn't, and I can't say we would. You never know, but that is very attainable with when you're an accurate quarterback and you got weapons out there like that.
Yeah,
you can put up some crazy numbers. Just imagine 04 if Randy would have been healthy the whole year.
You see what I'm saying?
Right now, you'd have been in the pocket. Your big ass, they can't hit you. You just be like, it's just like it'd be 7-on-7, dog. Like that's what they can't hit you anyway. Like I'm like, man, this shit is soft.
And you can still run. We see Mahomes all the time. He run and the guys don't know what to do. They don't know if I hit him, I don't want to get a flag.
It takes advantage of it.
Exactly.
I think that shit's soft, man.
It's like in practice back then.
Yeah,
defense will all be like, "Well, the quarterback's not live."
Yeah,
you can't hit him, and we took advantage of that because I'm running full speed.
You blowing your shoulder and something. Like, come on, Daunte, what you on?
Exactly.
Got the red jersey on.
Yeah.
And there's a prominent historic like sports restaurant out here owned by a guy named Phil Trainey, who I don't know if you know about Trainey, but I took Shaun there because Shaun, you guys are on a wall on a picture there, and it's a picture of like all the prominent black quarterbacks, and it's you, Shaun, I think Randall, Mike Vick, who was it?
Steve McNair, but before his
Steve McNair. What's my man's name for the Saints? Big arm. Aaron. You had Aaron on there, Aaron Brooks, who's another underrated cat. Aaron can sling it now. But it was an iconic picture. Do you remember taking that picture? Where was that?
I don't remember taking
that picture. I don't know where it was.
Events together, maybe it might have been at Joe Gilliam Award.
It was Mike. It was Vince Evans.
Yeah.
On that picture is Donovan McNabb's on there. Vince Evans, and I think it's a legend, Redskin, Doug Williams is on there.
Doug Williams, man. It might have been at the Joe. I think it's Jefferson Street Joe. They had an event a long time ago there. I think all of us came to it. It might be from that place. Shout out to Shaun King, man. I mean, Shaun's from St. Pete. I'm from Ocala. We about an hour away from each other, same age. Man, Shaun's my boy, man. Shaun's good people.
He has to be texting us during the show because he ain't all right now. He's dealing with some issues, so he's going to get healthy and everything, working on all his stuff, and then he'll be back on during the season, hopefully. So
that's what's up.
But he said to tell you what's up.
Yeah, I'm sure Shaun gonna probably call us afterwards. Why didn't you ask Daunte this? My last question, probably my most important question before I let you go. Which was a bigger accomplishment for you? Being an All-Pro and Pro Bowler, or being in the Big Timers videos?
Man, no doubt about it, being a pro, man. But I tell you what, Slim and Baby, those are my guys, man. We ended up meeting up. We met long when they were first coming on the scene. Before they even got famous, I was able to meet Slim. We kicked off. We were good friends, man. We've been friends for years, man. Those dudes are awesome. And, they used to always, let me get in the videos or come say, Pep, we shooting a video in Miami, man. Come on. So I go out and hang out with them. And Baby's good people. And I appreciate the relationship I had with those dudes, man. I love them. And I just wish the best for them, man. No, it was fun. It was great. My kids always laugh at me and bother me about that stuff too. But yeah, we had a good time, man. It's good.
You a Cash Money fan, then? You a yeah.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Hey, we do a segment, Daunte. We do a segment, and I just want to wrap it up. And I only got one question for you in this segment. It's called Hell Yeah or Hell Nah. Your celebration trumps Cam Newton's celebration of the day.
How you go, JV? How you doing?
Oh, he dabbing.
Your celebration is iconic, dog. It's before Cam. A lot of Cam. Get your roll on, dog. I don't know. That might have been.
Everybody get your roll on. Yeah, everybody get your.
I gotta go with everybody get your roll on, baby. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Big time was right there. Yeah.
Man, hey, I can't thank you enough, brother. We gotta get you on again. Hopefully, your boy ends up balling, keep balling. I have all kind. We have to bring you back on, man, college football or something, because I know the football landscape. You're firsthand getting to see it in basketball with your boys in the portal, and I got so many questions about football portal.
Just call me, bro. Just call me, man.
No doubt.
Anytime,
Always.
Man.
Much love, brother. I appreciate you. We'll see you soon.
Y'all be good.
All right, brother.